When We Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? By Billie Eilish. Billie comes from a family in the entertainment industry. She joined the Los Angeles Children's Chorus when she was 8 and started writing her own songs when she was 11. Her big break came when she recorded one of her brother's songs, Ocean Eyes. The song gained a lot of attention on Spotify, eventually leading to Interscope signing her. When We Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? Is Billie's debut album. How do we feel about it? Here's our honest review of When We Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? By Billie Eilish.
I thought she had an album before this, so this is her debut?
Album.
Okay.
I don't think that was the album.
Okay.
It's a dope project though.
Oh really?
Yeah, I listened to it. Copycats on that album, on that EP, whatever it is. I think it's an EP.
Okay.
And I'd say I like that EP consistency a little bit better than this one.
Okay.
Don't be mad. Billie Eilish, man, how you feel about this album artwork?
I feel like, after we reacted to You Should See Me in the Crown, I was kind of expecting something towards to the kind of weirdish thing. So about this album cover, I think it's striking. I like the way how they have it, have a little vignette over it, whatever like that, and the focus is on the bed and her. It's kind of creepy, but it stands out, in like a scary movie kind of way.
Yeah, she's got the white eyes, those straight white out eyes, and I'm assuming this is supposed to symbolize like the whole idea of like where you go when you fall asleep.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? Almost like it's another world in a sense, because one of the songs is actually referring to a monster under the bed, but I personally think it's like a double entendre, but we'll get to that. Okay. But yeah, it's interesting artwork. Very, like you said, striking is a good word for it. The flow of this project, man, it's interesting. The production is at times very stripped down, but very smart with how it's done. Like her brother did the production on this project, and he's really tactful when it comes to like. This is what Kanye West was trying to do with production, if you get what I'm saying.
I got that vibe.
Yeah. So if you get what I mean by that, like Kanye was always trying to strip it down, like Rick Rubin style, and because he would put too much stuff in the beats. This is what Kanye was trying to do with his production.
It's definitely got that minimalistic vibe, and then also as each song progresses, it has a natural build to it. So every song, you're going to get like a progressive flow to it, whether it be with her vocals or the production. So it's the constant game throughout the whole album.
Highlights, man. Look, I got quite a few highlights on this joint. So Bad Guy, it's got a smooth vibe to it. It kind of reminds me of like some of these cool like gorilla songs that I like. Songs from the Gorillas, like with the way the production is, and the way the artist is singing on it, because the Gorillas is like finding artists that sound similar to that.
I can hear that.
And at times she kind of sounds like Lord to me.
Yeah, I can get that.
Zanny, I like that. I like it, like she's kind of putting down like drug use amongst the youth. I like the way she did that. That was a really cool way of doing that. You Should See Me with a Crown. I like kind of like the grittiness sound to it. Yeah. And when you actually look at where she got it from, like it's a clip from a movie, and it's just kind of like just the way it's said, and they saw that and decided to make a song about it. And I thought that was kind of like a cool concept. All the Good Girls Go to Hell is a really dope song. I like that song. I mean, y'all know how I'm like not really into religion, so I like the way she kind of like flips it on his head with this one. Really dope. Wish You Were Gay. I thought that was an interesting way of her kind of wanting an excuse for the guy not to be into her, other than just not being into her. She just wished she was gay instead. Don't think I'm just going song by song, because I'm actually about to stop. Bury Your Friend. I thought Bury Your Friend sounds really interesting, and the way it goes is really chill. Yeah. And then I also want to point out When the Party's Over. That's the last song I'll mention. When the Party's Over, it's got a nice, cool vibe to it and everything like that. But Bury Your Friend, by the way, that's the song I think is a double entendre. Because like she's talking about like the monster under the bed, like what do you want from me, and but I think it's a double entendre. I feel like she's talking to the fans, like because just listening to how she's talking, she doesn't really like the fame, and you got to think she was homeschooled the majority of her life, and then all of a sudden she turns around, and next thing you know, she's the big star everywhere she goes. she's being followed, and people are snapping pictures. It makes you seem like you feel like you're a caged animal and everything like that. And she's even said it on multiple occasions, like she doesn't like her fans to think of them, like she doesn't think of them as her fans, she thinks of them as her siblings. Like they're related to her, and like she couldn't wait until she was old enough to drive a car, and now she can't because people will just follow her, and you know what I'm saying. So I felt like that was kind of her plea to like fans are like, yo, I'm just like you guys, let's just kick it. You know what I'm saying? Like a fan approached her to ask her to sign her an inhaler, and she was just like, I'll sign your inhaler only if you sign mine.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of like the type of stuff that she's on. So I felt like that was like a double entendre type of song.
Okay. Well, more of the highlights come from me is just the way her vocals were on this album, because I really like how she has like a very great vocal control when it comes to like when she starts the song really low, and then she gives off like a specific type of emotion based on the way she's singing. And I like how she'll rise it up, or then she'll come in at different ominous places and the production will go here. Like I just really like that, because the music keeps you interested in the artist and everything she's doing. Perfect example of that will be on You Should See Me With a Crown. Like I already like the song, but just listening to it over and over, I just like all the different things that was done with the production and her vocals. When the Party's Over, that's like my favorite track off the whole album, just because of how like sincere I guess it sounds, and just how powerful it sounds, even though it's like really, really soft spoken. And I watched the video for that one, and I thought the video was pretty cool. And it didn't come off as like creepy like the Crown video. With that one, I just like how it was shot, and just everything about how she was performing and everything like that. Bury a Friend is dope. I love the whole arrangement of that, and I like how it leads into track 11. I don't know how to say that word. Do you?
No.
I just call it Lil Milo. But I just like the beat and the progression of that song. And I liked My Strange Addiction as well. And I'm only put on a few because, like, really, if I was to talk about each song I like, I'll be talking forever. But I just like the way she chooses to sing her songs, because it's not really like she's doing overpowering or anything like that. It's a nice balance. Like you said, the production is something like Kanye tried to do, and the vocals, she just really made it really, really fit.
Yeah, there's a couple other things I want to highlight before I go into the lowlights for this project. Like you said, I want to talk about her voice. At times, her voice sounds like it's like classical.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if she was a fan of like Wizard of Oz and like some Disney movies and like kind of like Mary Poppins. Yeah, like you hear the theater and classical aspect in the way she chooses to go with the way she's singing. Yeah. Like she doesn't really oversing anything. Exactly. Like you said, like I can't tell you what her range is, but for what she does, she has a lot of voice control in what she is doing. Yeah. And like I'm just like, man, that part right there sounded just like somebody would do on like, if you think of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, when Gene Hackman is singing, man, I'm trying to think of the song, right when they're walking down the stairs before he lets them, only my imagination. Okay. Basically, there's parts in the song where he's singing like really soft and he's still doing like these kind of smooth notes, like there's nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she does like that.
She does things like that with her vocals, and I was just like, man, that's really dope. You know what I'm saying? Like that's little things that you could appreciate that might fly over some people's heads.
Exactly.
Now there are some things about this album I didn't like, and I didn't like number 8. I didn't like My Strange Addiction. I didn't like the El Mio joint. Oh, Listen Before I Go, I Love You or Goodbye. I didn't like any of those songs. Yeah. Like they're just not my style of vibe. They were a little bit too down to me, even though they're not all real downer songs.
I feel what you mean.
Like, cause a lot of this album is along the dark side. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. That's just not where I like to live. But I could see where the fascination is with it, because I think I told you the other day. Like, I just feel like when you're young, cause she's only 17, she's about to be 18 in December. When you're young and you're trying to find yourself, these are some of the questions you ask yourself. You ask, like, you know, when we fall asleep, where do we go? Like, you know, these are the things you say. And when you listen to her in an interview, she's extremely likable, and she says what she's feeling when she's feeling it.
Okay.
And like it's extremely likable, and that's the way she writes her music. Is extremely honest. It's pretty witty, and it's pretty cool the way she writes the lyrics too. And it gives insight into like the way I could I could see people that are into like witchcraft reading, like listening to this music. People like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a whole bunch of like small cliques of people that I could see gravitating to her music and latching on really heavy. But those songs, they just didn't do nothing for me. I'm not saying they were horrible. They just didn't do anything for me. Yeah,
I was definitely not a fan of 8. It just really didn't do nothing for me, that placement in the album. I can definitely agree with the rollout for tracks 12 through 14. It kind of like, there were good songs, but it just really went out on like, I don't want to say a depressing note, because it was kind of like, you know, uplifting to a certain extent, but just in front of the flow of, you know, between track 1 and 8, like it was always something interesting and really coherent with the vocals and everything like that. So that one just fell flat for me. So if I was like, you know, to replay it, I might not replay those albums. So that's the only, you know, lowlights that I have.
Final thoughts, man. Look, man, I think Billie Eilish is extremely talented. Her project Don't Smile at Me, I like that much better than I like this one. I thought it was really dope. Copycat is super hard, especially you watch her Coachella performance.
Oh, word?
Like, yeah, that joint went so hard.
Okay.
I did like a lot of research on her this week, so don't come at me. we can talk. I know some stuff. But she's really talented. She's got some dope writing skills. I feel like there's a couple low points on this project per se, but I still think she's like an enigma right now for the younger generation. And for anybody that's wondering how you can make her happier, because I saw like a lot of things, like she was saying people always ask her like what's wrong, and she's like, I don't know, you know, I'm chilling, I guess I'm okay. If y'all want her to be, you know, happy, and other artists like her to be happy, because she's one that you definitely got to keep an eye on, because just the darkness in the music just kind of comes off as a little sad. Make it an environment where she can live. Do you know what I'm saying? Where she don't have to be followed by security all the time. She ain't got to worry about people always snapping pictures and stuff like that. Like, treat her like a normal human being. Yeah. When you see her, you don't need to scream. There's no reason for all of that. You know what I'm saying? She's just a talented songwriter, just like everybody else that's a musician. There's a talented musician that just wants to be able to live. She wants to be able to jump in the car and go to, you know, Whole Foods without you wilding out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? She might not say it like that, but that's what celebrities want. Nobody in this music industry likes the fame aspect from it. Nobody. Everybody hates that part. They just enjoy music, and they want to make music that people like to listen to. Yeah. And it makes them feel good when people are vibing to it. But if you really want her to, you know, be in a point where she's extremely happy, just provide an environment. You see her. Hey, what's going on, Billie? And keep it moving. Yeah. Unless she's doing something where she's working per se, where she can take a picture with you, where she's doing autograph signing and stuff. Like, save that for that. Don't run up on people when you see them and they just out living life. You know what I'm saying? I remember when we was in New York and we was at TRL, waiting to get in TRL, and we saw Sway across the street. And Sway was eating lunch with his girlfriend. Okay. People and I'm with my homeboy, and he's just like, yo, Sway. And I'm just like, bro.
With his girl.
He's chilling, he eating, and like you can see him, he's smiling, having a conversation, and like he just keep yelling, "Yo, Sway!" And Sway turn around. And it was kind of like, you know, it was one of those things where it's just like, nigga, you see me chilling, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, but she's dope.
Yeah, man, I feel like that she definitely has a lot of potential that she's already has displayed, and for her to be, you know, this talented of a songwriter this young, she has a real bright future that I hope, you know, that, you know, she doesn't have no problems with, you know, fans and fame and all like that. Her talent for, you know, picking the right pitches of music and everything like that, it's just impeccable. So I was really, just blown away listening to this, because she sounds like she has years of experience behind her. Like, you know, it's just crazy. So, yeah.
Final grade, man. Look, I'm going to give it a check. Even though some of these songs definitely ain't for me, I can see where she's going. I can see that she's definitely going to be a star for time to come, as long as she kind of keeps this edge and then continues to evolve. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't stay in the same pocket. but she's definitely like the flavor of the year right now for what the young kids is like hearing out for. And like I salute her, man. You know, dope songwriter. Her brother is a beast with some of these beats, man. If y'all already a fan, then you probably already know. But check out Don't Smile at Me. Like, 'cause that project is really dope. You know what I'm saying? And I think Billie Eilish is cool.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna give it a check. You know, don't be afraid to venture into this without being creeped out. Just don't watch the See Me a Crown video. Listen to the song first. But yeah, check it out.